It's time again for The Insiders with Chuck Chvala and Scott Jensen, sponsored by the Wisconsin Counties Association and the Tommy G. Thompson Center on Public Leadership.
I'm Scott Jensen, former Assembly Speaker.
And I'm Chuck Chvala, former Senate Majority Leader.
And we're the Insiders. And this week we're talking about the race for the 3rd Congressional District. We've got a freshman who holds that district, the first Republican in decades. And of course, there are now like 5 Democrats who've come forward to run, including a particularly strong candidate, someone who's already in elected office, Katrina Shanklin. So, Chuck, how do you see that race playing out?
Well, when you see a number of strong candidates, as Scott pointed out, what that means is there's probably a good chance that this guy has an opportunity to be beaten. As you know, there have been some, not just one, but a couple of incidents where he's really caused a problem going after pages who are laying on the Capitol rotunda floor and taking pictures, and then another one where he was in a briefing room and was really apparently very aggressive in the way he handled it, and in both cases using some profanity in order to address that. I think that he certainly doesn't have the temperament of a judge, but I think a lot of people are asking whether he has the temperament of a congressman. I think that if this is a good Democratic year next year, or even a marginal Democratic year, he could be in trouble. And that's why you're seeing these strong candidates jump in against him, not just one, but several of these candidates. I also think if there is redistricting done, and there's no guarantee, but if they throw out this 6-2 map in Wisconsin in a 50-50 state, which should be producing 4 Democrats and 4 Republicans in a normal year, if that happens, I think he's absolutely toast. He's gone. And even without that, it's a close district, and I think he has done nothing to help himself. And the only things that he's shown out there are things that are really harmful, no matter whether you're a Republican or a Democrat.
Well, this is the most competitive district in Wisconsin, right? I mean, it's essentially a 50-50 district. You've got a freshman legislator here who ran as sort of a MAGA Republican when he ran the first time, and or when he won. But he has, I think, done a number of good things to try to sort of move himself towards more of a mainstream Republican. He was smart in trying to get the Ag Committee seat that he got. I think some of the things he's done regarding re-emphasizing his military expertise at a time of war here in the world, all of that makes sense. But he's had some dust-ups, right? He's run into trouble in DC a couple of times now. I don't think those will matter in the long run. The dynamics of this district means it's always going to be close, and it's always kind of a battle between the La Crosse area and the Chippewa Valley area. Those are the 2 largest vote pockets. Interestingly, the new candidate the Democrats are excited about, the one who's been able to raise money in the past and has a leadership position in the legislature, Representative Shanklin, is from neither of those 2 places. So she's not from any of the population centers of this district. She's off to the side, kind of in the Stevens Point area. And I think that in the end could be decisive in an election like this. But we're going to see. This is going to be close. It was close last time. It will be close this time. This is the closest district we have in Wisconsin. I think that in general, Van Orden's done a good job sort of recasting himself in sort of the role that people from the 3rd Congressional District like for their state, for their congressman. But boy, it's just never going to be easy in that district.
Well, you know, insiders like Scott and myself like to focus on things like, oh, he got onto the Ag Committee, and that's got to be good. Frankly, I don't think the public has learned anything about Mr. Van Orden other than the 2 incidents that we talk about where there's profanity-laced tirades against individuals who were doing nothing wrong. And that is not good. And I think that that will be the signature for this. Yes, military background is always an advantage, but you know what? That was in the last election. I think that that is going to melt away. And I think what people are going to focus on is, does he have the personal characteristics? Is this the guy that I want to have representing me in Washington, D.C.? And I think that that is not going to look good. And I think he's given the Democratic side just enough to make the difference. And what I agree with Scott is a very tight district, unless there's redistricting.
I just don't think the dust-ups in DC are going to matter. And oddly, this is a district that just seems to keep re-electing its incumbents, right? Almost everybody who ever wins this seat holds it for a long time. And I think that's going to continue here with Van Orden if he plays his cards right. I think he has the ability to win this seat and secure it for many, many years.
I strongly disagree, but Scott is right. That is the history, but I don't know that past is prologue in this particular case, but we shall see. See you next time.
You've been listening to The Insiders with Chuck Chvala and Scott Jensen, sponsored by the Wisconsin Counties Association and the Tommy G. Thompson Center on Public Leadership.